Mycenaean hit the scene shortly after the Minoans. The Mycenaean period started around 1600 BC. Here is a map of the territory they controlled. They were not really centralized, it was kind of each group for themselves. But that did not stop them from fighting over territory. The Mycenaean economy was based on agriculture as well as trade. The two tablets that were found on Pylos and Kronos demonstrate that there are two major food groups that the Mycenaean produced. Archaeologists have found records proving that the Mycenaeans were highly organized in writing down records of deliveries and keeping a record of taxes. Cereals were used as the basis of rations. The Mycenaeans also produced wine, olive oil, oil from various species, and figs. Some historians argue that the wine may possibly be a luxury for the Mycenaeans. Another aspect of the Mycenaeans' life is the aspect of trade. The Mycenaeans were huge traders. They traded everything. And one of the reasons archaeologists know so much about what the Mycenaeans traded and how they did it was the shipwreck at Cape Galdiana. The wrecked ship lies 90 feet below water, just off the coast of Cape Galdiana. The ship is wrecked in a way that has preserved itself over time. On the wrecked ship, divers have found 3 piles of powdery white tin oxide, seemingly all that remains of the tin. They've also found bronze scrap, a variety of objects useful in agriculture, woodworking, and purely domestic activities such as picks, hoes, and shovels. They also found small traces of poorly made pottery, or poorly preserved anyway. The scene depicted on both sides of this crater follows the tradition of the Mycenaean chariot representations. From the beginning of the 14th century BC, 2 tall figures wearing long spotted robes stand in a chariot drawn by a pair of horses. The Mycenaeans were influenced a great deal by the non-Greek Minoans, artistically, but their aggressive warrior culture was unlike the peace-loving Minoans. They were skilled metal workers who created beautiful creations in gold and bronze. The kings controlled the workshops. The Mycenaeans had to import copper from Cyrus and tin from the Central and Western Europe, because Greece did not have any on its own. By 1600 BC, Mycenae had become a major center of the ancient world. The exact relationship of Mycenae, Greece, to Crete between 1600 and 1400 BC is extremely complex, with both areas evidently competing for maritime control of the Mediterranean. After the violent destruction of Kronos in 1400 BC, Mycenae achieved supremacy, and much of the Minoan culture tradition was transferred to the mainland. Although the Mycenaeans had certain innovations of their own, they drew much of their cultural inspirations from the Minoans. The great Mycenaean cities, Mycenae, Trens, Pylos, Thebes, and Orchomenus, were noted for their heavy, complex fortifications two sets of graves found in the soil of Mycenaean have given us a fantastic glimpse of wealth and artistic accomplishments of this city. The graves in each were enclosed within a circular wall. The older set tentatively dated between 1700 and 1600 BC, was outside the walls that surrounded the site all. Inside there were wealthy Greeks, perhaps from the royal family or clan. Alongside their bodies, the surviving relatives had deposited various offerings. For example, a golden rattle in a child's grave. The second set of graves inside the Sidon walls far surpassed the older ones in wealth. These graves, dated between 1600 and 1500 BC, were discovered in 1876 by one of the founders of the Greek archaeology, Heinrich Schliemann.
Legend says that Mycenae was founded by Perseus, who was a son of Zeus, the king of all the Greek gods, whose magnificent statue is seen here. The Greek people of long ago believed that to build the walls of the city, Perseus had ordered one-eyed giants, whose job it was to make weapons for the gods, to carve these enormous stones and lift them into place. As early as 13 centuries before the birth of Christ, the kings of Mycenae rode out through this gate, built from these huge stones, to lead their troops into battle. And above the gate, the figures of two lions carved in stone still remind us of the great power these kings once held.
One of the possible reasons why the Mycenaeans met their demise was because they were wearing thin on each other, treasure hunting, embarking on overseas journeys to raid and pillage a town, and they were taking their expensive chariots with them. The ancient civilization was based upon a warrior society. With massive palaces and great wealth, The Mycenaean Greeks were fond of adventure and traveling, and believed that all of the Mediterranean should be explored.